This is the regular meeting agenda of the Design and Historic Review Commission. It is Thursday, March 27th, 2025. It is 10:01 a.m. I'll call this meeting to order, and we do have a quorum. First order of business is public comment. Issues or concerns not on the regular agenda may be raised by the public at this time. Citizens should speak from the podium, address all comments to the dais, and begin by stating their name and address or single-member district number. Please limit all remarks to less than 3 minutes. We will go to the consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to look at that? Okay, can I get a motion to? We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. We will now go to our regular agenda. Our first case is CA 24-09AMD, 136 East Concho Avenue, a request for approval to amend design, colors, and location of playground equipment at the San Angelo Autism Center.
Hi, good
you.
morning. Kim Garmany, Planning and Development Services Administrator. This is an amended application. It did come to you before. This is the San Angelo Autism Center. They are in single-member district number 3 downtown in the Central Business District. You'll remember that this was the playground equipment that came before you the first time. The colors were at the topic of discussion, and you all did approve it because we concluded that playground equipment doesn't come in historic colors. This is what it actually looks like. So the design is a little bit different. You'll notice there's more slides, and the colors are different. This is currently installed. We are recommending approval of the amended application with the following 2 conditions: that they follow the colors and what's being presented here, and then they also do still need to get their permit from the Permits and Inspections Division after it is approved here. Any questions?
Any questions? Nope. Okay, thank you. Is there any public comment on this issue?
We have Monica.
Oh, okay. So we'll open it for discussion. Does anybody have any? I don't really see the issue on it. I know it's a different color, but it looks like fun to me. I actually like the new colors better. They seem a little more consistent.
Yeah.
Somebody like to make a motion to approve?
I move we approve. Second the
We have a
recommendation.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We will now move to our next case, RCR 25-03, 1173 Benedict Drive. A request for approval to install rooftop solar panels on all apartment buildings at the River Point Apartments located in the River Corridor overlay.
Good morning, Karen Putnam, Planner and Training. So this is 1173 Benedict Drive. This is the River Point Apartments, District 3, Fort Concho East. It is RS1 zoned and just a little bit over 14 acres. And this is a view of the property. It's in the River Corridor. And they are requesting installation of rooftop solar panels to help reduce the tenants' reliance on the electric grid. And then this is the whole entire apartment complex and where the panels will be placed on each roof. And this is a visual of what the panels will look like, and it's pretty standard for those. I did drive in the area. You will be able to see them from the roadway. Seeing them from the river would be more challenging because of the water level. And with that, we are recommending approval for the request as long as the colors, dimensions, and materials meet the Design and Historic Review Commission and they obtain the necessary permits and inspections. Any questions?
All of those they're on a 2-story building, correct?
Correct.
Pretty much all of those there, yeah. Okay.
Is the current roof, the pictures you show are of it on a standing seam, but it looks like the current roof, I think, is asphalt shingle, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, it's composition. Okay, any questions for staff? We have any?
And what is the color of the existing shingles?
I think they're brown.
Yeah, it's like
Dark
a
brown.
copperish brown color. Yeah.
Do we have any public comment on this? No? Okay. Open it for discussion. I think we've had these come up before, and there was a property over on South Park, but it was more in a historical district on a historical home. I think we're gonna run into these more often because of just the nature of progress. And I honestly don't have any problem with it being two-story like that, and whatever, anybody else has a thought on it?
I think it's fine. And
Somebody like to make a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, we will move to our next case, CA 25-04, 123 North Chadbourne Street. A request for approval to install glass double doors, an awning, and commercial signage, as well as to paint the exterior of the building.
Thank you. Kim Garmany again. Harry Thomas, Downtown Central Business District, a little under 0.1 acres. This is the building right now. The proposed work in the application was glass double doors, a side awning, new signage for the building, and painting the exterior. You can see on the image here what we'll be looking at, and we'll go through the examples. So I'm going to look back at the applicant really quick. We said no awning right now. Okay, thank you, sir. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so right now, we're actually not considering the awning because that would need an extra level of approval because of where the building sits on the property line. So you'll probably see this again in the future, but not now. So on the left, you'll see the proposed glass double doors. After looking at the surrounding buildings as well as when this building was built in the 1930s, we are recommending a different type of door. And we did talk with the applicant about that, and they are willing to go with a door that is more like these here. So imagine the door on the left, if there was a panel on the bottom, it would more closely align with the other double doors that we see around town. Not around town, in their area specifically. So we have 4 examples of double doors that we think might work. So the colors that they have chosen, I do believe, are on the historic palette. So we will, that extra white is extra white. I can't see it. The tricorn black, and then a gold color, gold leaf color. We'll show you where those are going to go. So you see, this is the signage. They're proposing to paint it on the building. And so the top part of the building will be that bright white. The bottom part of the building will be that black. And you'll have the signage right there in the middle. The building is currently painted. So we are recommending approval, but not as the application read. So we're recommending approval of the double doors in a style that aligns with the examples provided. We are not addressing the side awning. We are recommending the commercial signage with the colors, as well as the painting of the exterior of the building. The conditions for this would be to follow through with what is approved here, get any necessary permits. We're not going to be addressing number 3 because that was with the awning. And then number 4, we would like for them to provide documentation of the proposed glass double doors so we can have that on file. Are there any questions?
Can you bring back the picture of the front again? So, no,
Oh,
go back to
okay.
where it's the painted, so they're gonna put the lights on there? That's something new? I see 2 lights right there.
I see those
Because on the
too.
original, I don't think there's any lights.
Sure, are you ready to have the applicant come up to
Sure.
answer some questions?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Documentation, item number 5, I think you said, documentation for the doors chosen.
Yes, sir.
You're not requesting that, you're not requiring that to come back to us, right? If they provide it to you, that you can handle that administratively?
Yes, sir. That is what I'm recommending unless you all feel that it would need to come back.
That's great, that's what I wanted. Thank you.
If you want to go through your I'm going to miss this somehow.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I go by Amber, but this is a new boutique that I've brought in. And the lights are just for aesthetics. So it would just kind of be like a battery operated.
So do we have a picture of that? Do we have something we can,
I
mean,
just,
it's kind of hard to tell from that.
honestly, I
can't
did that
tell
on
what
my
it
phone
is.
and used my finger to kind of paint, mainly to give him an idea. I could have done this a whole lot more professional if I'd have known this was going to be the picture for you to look at. But, and lights aren't a big deal. They can go away. That's not something that like has to be done.
Well, it just, we'd like to see what it is before we approve it. And we
Correct.
can't really approve it because we don't really have exactly what you're going to put on it.
Right. It would be, you're right, I don't have them.
I mean, could that be brought back with the, if you're going to do it with the door? I mean, I'd like to, I mean, how's that going to work?
We
The other
can X
question,
them out if, I mean, I'm telling you, it's not an issue for me whatsoever. It's not like something that I desperately want. I was just aesthetically putting that on it.
So you're not changing out any of the glass or
No,
anything?
sir.
And so the upper part's going to be white, the bottom,
Will be
what is the
black.
side of the building going to be?
It's
White?
There's gonna be a mural,
It's-
a mural on there.
But what color's the wall going to be?
Well, it's the same color it is right now, it's like a beige.
So you're going to leave that color, but the front's going to be white and black?
Right.
The
What's-
mural's gonna take up that entire area.
On that mural, I know we don't do the well, we have done the content on it before.
Yeah, we got approval for the mural,
Or you did?
yeah.
Through,
Tears.
well, Tiers doesn't do approvals on that.
Well, we,
Yeah.
Sir, we definitely need him to come to the mic if he's going to be part of the conversation and introduce himself. But I do believe what he's saying is that the Tiers and City Council approve funding for the mural.
Yes.
I'm not aware, I know that they came maybe a couple of years ago with a design for the mural. I think the design may have changed slightly, and so it may just needs to be an amendment to that previous approval, but we can certainly bring that back and have that. But yes, Tiers did approve funding for it, but you are correct, Chairman,
Yeah.
that DHRC has approval of placement, some minor approval of content, but
Yes.
really placement of where it should go on it. And this being in our historic district, that's a more of the concern, similar to your concern with the lights and the doors. You need those spec sheets to know exactly what's going on there, because any deviation has to be approved, and so we understand that's your concern.
Correct. That's where I'm kind of concerned about that mural, because having that other color, I'd like to kind of see what that's going to be. I mean, it looks like,
I think white would.
I'd like
be
more
appealing.
consistent if it was all white on that one side, and that way your windows are trim out and all that the same, and then but I don't know what the mural is, or there's no concept of it yet, or is that just something down
That
the
is
road?
something
or-
that they have done previously before myself coming in.
Yeah, because I remember the
I remem-
original one he was gonna do,
That's not the original,
yeah.
that had to do with military or whatnot.
Yes.
That was not going to happen. It was, I did see a picture of it at
Well,
once.
that's the original one he was
Yeah,
gonna do.
that's not, it was
It's not.
more of the city of San Angelo and,
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe it says, "Welcome to San Angelo."
yes.
yeah, well, I
It's-
suppose we
yeah.
have.
yeah, sir, if you're gonna speak, you need to
I'm
give us
Jerry
your
Gibson,
name,
and,
tell us your name, please.
I was here a couple of years ago, we argued over that mural, and we finally got approval, we got approval. for
Okay.
that, Yeah.
All right.
So, it's,
Okay,
we got a picture of that thing somewhere, that mural.
yeah.
Do we have a picture of it somewhere?
We do have updated photos that he provided through the Tiers process, and I do believe he's correct that y'all did have discussion and did get something approved.
Okay.
Staff will be happy to research that and get that back to see if there's any other modifications or changes that need to be addressed.
Okay.
I think the board, if the board chooses, you could move forward with approval with conditions and line out some of those conditions if that's something you'd like to do. And we can also bring back just a discussion item or a information item of here's what was approved previously at the next meeting here in a few weeks, I think on the 17th of March.
Okay.
I was told that they sent out the letter for approval, we could start that mural, and we're doing an awning in the front. And we've been approved for that.
Well, but that's tiers, that's different. You got approved for, normally it goes before our board, we have to approve everything, and then it goes to tiers.
Okay,
Something we had that done.
hold on for just one moment. So the mural is not part of this case right now. Yes, so, but we are going to have to bring that back because the content has changed. But you and I can work that out outside of this meeting. We'll make it really super simple, but we'll bring that back for
And then
you.
the awning is not on this either.
Yes, sir. No, the awning is not on,
This the front.
but he's speaking about the previous, the awning on the front was approved at the same time the mural was. And we can bring both of those back to you all at the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're talking about today is the paint
just-
colors, the double doors, and the signage, and the exterior paint.
Okay. Is the sign gonna have any lighting on it? It's just painted on the building, or is it a,
It's just painted on the building
okay.
for budget-wise, I believe. for-
So as far as the doors go, do we need to go ahead and pick out a door now? Or is this something we're gonna allow y'all to do later? I mean, like these doors here, they seem okay, but those look like they're mirrored. We don't do any reflective doors
No.
or any reflective glass.
I literally copy and pasted something
Oh,
that I
okay.
wanted that would be
Okay, well,
similar.
we're real specific
I'm
about
really
what we're
sorry.
looking
And like I
at.
said, if I'd have
Yeah.
known this was what you would go off of, I'd have had somebody
Yeah.
actually do it.
Maybe
in
a
that sense.
recommendation would be, since the mural is coming back, that the door could come back to you all if you would prefer to see the detail of it, because you're already coming back, so it won't be a big deal at all.
But then that wouldn't get accomplished until
Yeah, I like.
That's
very
true.
late, and
Wish we
that's,
could do it this
Gotcha.
you
Okay.
can pick a door out if you want
I
to.
mean, I like the three-panel door, I just don't want it to be,
It
just
won't
can't
be
be mirrored,
tinted.
but I think it fits the style. I mean, if we go with, like the other doors, I don't want to be real consistent where everything in downtown looks exactly the same. So, I mean, personally, I like that three-panel.
It will
but
not be
Not with the
tinted,
mirror,
and
can't
it
have
will
the
not be
mirrored glass in
reflective.
it. So we'll discuss that. Does anybody else have any questions for the applicant? Nope, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? No? Okay. Monica. Nope, here we go.
Good morning, Monica with Downtown San Angelo. I just want to say that I've been helping the applicant, and I think Amber is ready to open up her doors. I toured the interior. She has a really nice fancy boutique going on inside, so it's really going to be beneficial to downtown. So if possible, to allow any other administrative review to be done administratively to avoid her having to come back here next month, to whereas she could already get going. She stated that she's very flexible. If you just tell her exactly what you want to see, she'll get that done. I have faith in her and in the planning department to make the right choice for downtown. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Do you have any thoughts? I like it. I mean, the paint colors I like. I think it really jazzes it up. I'm concerned about the side. I think the side needs to be painted white myself, so it
Yeah.
matches, and that way the window trim up top will match what's on the bottom windows on the side, because there are windows on the side.
Are you talking about the sides?
Sir, we're good. We'll ask, if we need to, we'll bring you back up. I don't have a problem with it. The doors, I kind of like that style, if they just do them without the mirrored glass. And, you know, the metal doors are, you know, they weather better since they're not gonna have an awning on it right now. That would help a lot. The rest of the glass, I don't have an issue with.
So does it go okay with its full glass, nothing at the, like a base at the bottom, or?
On the doors?
On the
or-
doors?
Yeah, well, it doesn't have a big panel on the bottom. I mean, you're less unless it's something we
Full
want to
glass.
change on it.
I mean, I definitely agree with lighting. I'd love to see that before it's on there, and maybe that can come back with the mural when it does, just to overlay, help
Oh,
them
like to have a
with that,
panel on
but-
the bottom of that door?
Yeah,
Well, but that's probably a metal door. I guess they could do a metal panel on it. That could be done.
Rather than,
If that's
rather than
something-
glazing? Rather than glass?
Well, yeah, she's just saying it'd be a two light door with a panel on the bottom,
Oh.
like a metal panel. Because if that's a metal door, which that is, then they could actually do that on it. But
yeah, I
that's-
don't know. It
is
seems
that
real
something-
modern for it, for that,
Sure.
Yeah,
for that spot, to
I
me.
agree.
A little modern.
this, yeah.
that door.
Okay, well, if you want to make a motion, put that in there as a,
Okay.
So would you rather see the doors then that match what,
yeah. or
They-
do the
I mean,
other-
would you
some of
rather-
the other
Yeah, I mean,
stuff.
I think anything kind of, I love the blue one, if it's more full glass that she likes. I feel like the ones on the left just really don't quite
there is
go.
something else. Texas accessibility standards requires that there be a 10 inches from the bottom of the door up that's at a single plane. Those doors that are being shown right now have problematic. You wouldn't think so, but those are technically in violation. This isn't really, this is kind of outside of our purview, but
So you're saying for ADA? I mean, so how do they do a full glass door then on a building? When you see just a regular storefront or full glass?
well,
Are there
a
not-
storefront glass door has to have 10 inches of the storefront before the glazing starts, or the glass goes all the way down to the bottom and there's not really a rail, or the rail is just like it's like a J-mold almost, it just goes
Oh.
around.
I didn't know that. It's good to know.
So,
Okay,
anyway, that's all just sort of
okay. Yes, ma'am?
kind of outside of
You
our
wanna-
purview.
Like I said, y'all can pick a choice for yourself.
Okay,
Because I really need this.
okay.
I'm not like the bit pickiest. I'm just, let's go with it, whatever matches downtown and whatever you think is best.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, so if you want to make a motion where it has a panel on the bottom, I mean, I'm good with that. Either, any of that style works for me, or whatever.
I'd like to add that we authorize staff to approve it, just so it
Yes.
can move forward. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody want to go ahead and make a
Or
motion?
minus the
to-
lighting. I mean, I do think we should see
No, I-
that
I
lighting
agree.
at some
So,
point.
if I understand from Monica, this is all, the interior's already fitted out. So,
That's correct.
any lighting that's shown is, you're not gonna be running new power or anything, so it would just be aesthetic, so,
So it really shouldn't affect you opening or whatever, I mean, as far as painting and any of that.
right.
Yeah, let's get her open for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and,
So, but then on the side, do we wanna say then that the side needs to be painted, at least any visible portion that's not gonna be covered up by the mural needs to be either the tricorn black or the white?
I mean, yes, I would like to put that in the motion.
Okay.
So,
Okay, let's see. I'd love to make a motion to approve moving with staff to be able to approve the door. We would like to have a panel on the bottom of the door. And we would love the side of the building to be painted to match the front, white or black, any visible area in that section. And then please bring back the lighting to approve. Okay.
And I just want to make sure that we're clear that the awning that's facing the side, that we're not making approval on that yet?
correct, or the front,
Okay.
or the front.
Yeah.
That will be brought back to us, correct?
Yeah, because
That
they're
was
not
stated
doing
in-
the awning now, so we're not going to approve
Okay.
it now.
Just
They have to
making
bring
sure
it
that
back.
we understood clearly.
Wait, I thought, somebody said that the front awning is already up there or has already been approved.
No,
No.
The front awning was approved at a prior case because and I'm not sure if you have one of those elevations that showed that, but I want to say it's either in 2020 or 2022.
yeah, I remember that when we approved
So you
that.
see it there coming out there to the left side of that. That's actually the side that faces Chadburn.
Yeah, right there. That
yeah.
was approved.
So that awning was approved It did also receive tiers funding for him to replace that awning. So that on the front facade that faces Chadburn, that awning has been approved previously by DHRC and received funding. On this side, there's actually, you can see on the building where an awning probably was before over that front window. We're just wanting to confirm with our operations department, since that comes out actually over the street level, not just over a walkway, if that would be allowed before y'all approve it. If they say it's okay, then we'll bring that back for you guys to approve that addition of that awning on that side. If that makes sense.
I have a question about that. So
Yes, sir.
when we did approve that front awning, but that was consistent with the colors and everything that went with that awning. Now that, I don't know if the property's sold or they're leasing it, and so now the awning was approved, but what about the color of it and all that?
And I think I think that today is a decision of the color of where does it
That
transition
needs to
from
be
the.
brought back to us or whenever they're gonna
could.
do the awning. I mean,
So if I understand that you're gonna do the tricorn, I forget the colors, but the black at the bottom and the white
Yes.
at the top.
yes,
Black awning,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
so the awning will be black.
Okay, and so I think y'all would have the ability to make
So
that
do we
decision
need to go and
today.
approve that now too?
If that's your leaning, yes, you could approve that today.
Okay.
Now, I can't remember on that. Were there any lighting gonna be in the awning and nothing?
I don't think there
Okay.
was at the time.
Okay, so I guess you could put that in there, that we'll approve the color of the.
Yeah,
Okay, did we get all that? Is all
add
that?
that.
Do you write all that down?
Is it okay if I read that back to make sure that we have? it?
Yes,
Okay. A motion by Chris to approve the double door with the panel, authorizing staff to administratively approve. Approving the bright white and tricorn black exterior paint color, but you would like that to extend to the other side of the
And
building.
then I guess that gold goes around the window. There's a gold,
It's,
That's for the sign.
that's just for the sign.
the sign.
okay, well, it looked like the windows were painted up top gold. No, I like that, though. Can we see that again? Can I see that again?
Thank you, Aaron.
See if I get to the right.
Right there. It looks like the windows are trimmed.
My finger just didn't cover the existing color
Oh.
in the picture,
Oh.
but I can always come
Well,
back.
can we see let me see the original building, the color it is now. There's no trim around it, is there?
No, sir.
No.
Well, yeah, it is.
Could be.
Probably 3 to 4 inches.
See, I like that. I like that gold trim around the window. I think it would look better myself, I mean, personally.
Yeah, I do too.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it looked like on the plan. I would like to see that
And
painted on there.
approval of the gold color for both the
Yeah, that
sign
way it
and
matches your
trim.
sign. I like more bling, the better.
Just do it.
Yeah. Okay, so we'd like to add that to the motion.
Okay, I think we've got all of it.
Okay.
Okay.
So can we get a second?
Second.
We have a second, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. You're good to go. Thank you. I think it's gonna be great. What is it gonna be? A boutique? Oh, okay. Okay, our next, case is RC 25-04, 325 South Chadburn Street, a request for approval to upgrade communication equipment on cell tower and the river corridor overlay.
Good morning, Karen Putnam, Planner and Training. So this is in District 3, 325 South Chadburn. It's located over by Twisted Root. It's in the downtown district, and zoning is CBD, and it's 0.278 acres. And this is in the river corridor, and they are wanting to upgrade the communication equipment only at the top of a tower, and there will be no ground or electrical work. And this is a plan of the tower and where they'll be conducting their work, and also a visual. And then this is what the tower looks like from the street view. And then staff's recommending approval, of course, with the colors, dimensions, materials for the design and historic review, and that the applicant get the appropriate permits and inspections.
Any questions?
Questions?
Nope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any public comment? Nope. Okay, we will, I think it's pretty straightforward here. Yeah. It's down, that's by Twisted Root. Can I get a motion to approve? Second. We got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Our next case is CA 25-03, 206 and 210 South Chadbourne Street. A request for approval for the exterior remodel of both 206 and 210 South Chadbourne Street, formerly known as the Dead Horse, that will be divided into two different bars.
Good morning, Karen Putnam again. With this case, you'll be seeing two different locations. They both will have either option 1 and 2 or option 1, 2, and 3. So when you make your motion, please be very clear which option you're going to be moving with. And so this is District 3, downtown neighborhood, CBD district. Each lot is 0.86 acres. And let's see here. And they are in the historic overlay, both of them. They're right next door to each other. And they're wanting to do an exterior remodel of both locations. The first one is 206 South Chadbourne. We'll do this one first before we move on to the next. This is Vita. That's the branding they are recommending. The picture to the right here is the sign that they're proposing to use and how it's backlit. And then the font for the Vita is over there. And then they also want the black awning that where you're seeing for the box office. Right there. They're wanting that type of awning. So for this one, they are wanting to paint the stucco. It looks like brick, but it's actually stucco. And they are wanting to paint that the Hale Navy, and then with the historic white, and then Newburgh green will go in that inner part on the bottom, and the historic black will be the railing. And then for the tile, they have two different options. They either want to replace it with the one you see to my left, or restore and clean up the second option that has Barron on it, but replace that logo with Vita. And then for the awning, that's just another picture example from a side profile. And they did offer two options for sizes, either the 240 inches long by 50 inches wide or the 142 inches long with 50 inches wide. And then they do have a back patio that they're wanting to clean up and restore, but this is not visible from the right-of-way. Oh, now I'll go back. Any questions on this one?
Yeah, I'll go back to the front of that one. So the red brick, they're not gonna paint. I mean, where's the, I'm a little confused about the
So
green.
they do want to paint. They are open to the idea of not painting the stucco, but they really do want to
I
paint
mean, I don't
that
understand the
stucco.
star. What is the star pointing to?
just
The brick
just
or
showing. Yeah.
the plaster on top, or?
It's just pointing the color
Okay,
to,
so,
Are you saying that the part that looks like brick is not actually brick?
correct,
That's stucco.
correct.
That's been pointed or whatever to look like brick.
huh. Yeah, because I looked at it, and it looked to me like it was brick, and when they they went in there and they sandblasted it, and they blasted the face off it so much that it's almost smooth.
Yeah.
You can see the grout joints on it,
Oh.
but I don't think it's plaster. The other deal, like that top rail, that looked like stone to me, because I could see the individual joints. Every once in a while, you could see a joint on it.
This up
The
here?
middle band looks like they just went in there and plastered that over after they sandblasted it, because it doesn't make any sense where the sides would be brick and that top part would not be brick.
What,
But I think they did it way too coarse, and it just made it smooth.
it used to be painted, right?
Yes,
It wasn't.
Yeah, and then they
It was.
sandblasted it. What they did, when they did the upper part, they did it so harsh that it ate the face off, that glazing and all that far off the brick, and it's almost flat with the grout. I mean, I looked at it real close. The only issue I have with that thing is they did it so bad, I'm just thinking, I wonder if it'd look better if it was painted. It doesn't look good the way they did it. I mean, I know we're not in favor of painting any brick, but to me, that building, I would not have.
That outer layer, you really have a product that's
Well, yeah,
needs
because
to be
the glazing is off
stabilized.
that brick, so now you've exposed it all to the weather,
Right.
but just the fact that it's just, I mean, it's almost smooth. I couldn't figure it out, and I got up on a ladder, and
Yeah.
it's actually brick, but they just blasted it way too much.
Yeah, it doesn't look like.
Because
true
the
brick.
bottom is brick, so we can talk about that, but on that particular one, I would not
Karen,
have a
on that-
problem if it was
On that upper
painted.
facade, we see that they're looking at the Hale Navy at the top. The other two red bands that are there, are they proposing to paint that as well? And if so, is that the historic white color that they're proposing to paint?
Yeah,
So
that's where I'm
right here,
confused.
these, where my pointer is,
Mm-hmm.
that will be the Hale
it's
Navy.
brick. But,
And then the trim here will be the Hale White. Am I correct? You're wanting to do the whole thing Hale Navy? Okay.
And the plaster bands that are between the red, will those also have a paint treatment on them, or will they stay the plaster color?
These right here?
yeah, what's gonna happen there?
The whole thing would be painted.
Is that,
Okay, I'm still confused, because you got navy,
one of y'all are welcome.
and then you've got white,
The whole top, the whole top
is gonna be navy?
is gonna be navy. And then each trim of brick all the way down will be white.
It'll be the
And
historic
then the
white.
column in the middle will be white.
Oh, so they are painting all the brick?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Correct.
I knew what you were saying.
It's okay. I know what I'm thinking, but
I couldn't figure that out. So you're not gonna see the band, everything's gonna be the same color,
Correct.
that navy.
Yeah, except for the
Um,
white on the edge.
And then, so the bottom, the actual wood on the bottom is gonna be black. And then the green is,
Well, the black.
that a
will be
trim
the
color or
railing.
what?
The wood on the inside
Yeah.
will be that Newburgh green color.
yeah,
the railing is staying,
yeah, the railing will
that's
stay
gonna
black.
be black,
The railing is metal, correct?
Correct. It is
So it's
blawearing.
black.
and it's
Yeah.
black.
So it'll be
Okay, okay, I'm
They're just
getting-
wanting to touch it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, this is this is an option, is that?
Yes, this is the option that they're going with for this building. We do have a second one. That one has 3 options. So you'll just, what you're for and
So
against,
do
you'll
we
just have
wanna
to
look
be
at
clear.
both of them and then vote, or y'all wanna vote on one? What do you, how do you?
I think we wanna see everything.
Okay. Okay, we can.
Move on to the next
Yeah,
one?
let's see the
Okay.
next one.
And then the tile. The tile has the 2 options and the awning has the 2 options on this one.
206 only has one option. 210 has 3 different options that
Yes, for
that
the-
they're proposing.
For the outer part,
Correct.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and they are not connected together, so they're not gonna look the same.
Correct. They're going to be 2 different
totally
businesses.
different, like they're 2 separate, okay.
Yes,
So there,
ma'am.
so there is gonna be an option on the
10.
10,
3 options.
So yes, the 210, there's going to be 3 different options.
yeah, but I mean, there's gonna be an awning on,
Yes. Yeah, there'll be a
okay.
color and size option on this
Okay,
one.
so that's the building, it's the building I was confused, because I thought.
Yeah, this is the next building.
This is
Yeah,
next door.
For whatever reason, I thought because it's kind of, what we looked at is kind of subdivided, so I thought it was.
Correct,
one, two.
yeah,
But
the
this is a
other
whole
one's
different deal.
taller. Yeah, the one we're gonna look at now, 210 is taller.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
Fat Boss?
Yeah.
Is that-
No, it's Dead Horse.
It was still Dead
And
Horse. Yeah.
upstairs used to be offices. Is there any?
Correct.
Still offices, okay. Is that still Kathleen Hicks and? No, somebody.
own those as well.
Okay.
But she's probably gonna just use them, we're trying to rent them out, but she may just use them for herself.
Okay,
Yeah, we need to wait before we, we'll get with you here in a minute.
I just wanted to make sure I
Okay.
knew what building we were talking about.
All right, so for 210 South Chadburn, the proposed logo will be the Tipsy Pink, and Tipsy Pink is in a historic Rachel pink color. And then that is an example of the 2 different awning options. Right here, the tile what the building looks like. Another tile. And they are wanting to put Tipsy Pink on a sign like this with the backlit. So this is option one. And what they are wanting to do is paint the brick basic white or a historic white, but do Rachel Pink on the black trim. And then the little small pieces of white that you see along this door would remain. And they do want to paint over this buffalo if possible, since it does not go with their theme of the business. You have option two, where they're willing to leave the brick as is on this building, paint the black section Rachel Pink while keeping the white trim here at the bottom. And then the third option is similar to number two, except for we are actually going to leave the brick as is, but the black would become white and the white trim would be Rachel Pink. And then also for the tile on this building, the first option is to replace it with the Stella type tile or just clean and restore the current tile that remains. And then the awnings, they are wanting the pink and white stripe, but they are okay with the second option of the solid white. And I did send them an encroachment agreement application for that. And then the two sizing options of 228 inches by 50 and 89 by 50. And so with both of these, we are recommending approval with a partial denial, the denial being the painting of the stucco or brick and replacing any of the exterior tile on both locations. We are seeking approval for the color, dimensions, materials, that's the conditions, and they require the appropriate permits and inspections. And I think I put that twice. I did. So there's two conditions, sorry. Do you want me to go back on any of this?
Yeah, let's go back to the first one.
The Vita or the first slide on?
The very first
206.
building, 206.
206? Okay.
Yeah, 206. Well,
Go
let's-
back one more, just, no, go.
Go forward one more?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to the building. There you
Okay.
go, yeah. Anybody have any questions for, we'll bring up the applicants here in a minute.
So all that, I'm just trying to confirm, that all used to be painted, all the brick used to be painted, and it was
Correct.
sandblasted off?
Yes, and then they came in and sandblasted it. And like I said, it's just, I mean, the problem with that building I see is just, when they did it, they didn't do a good job on the brick, and so it's just so inconsistent. I mean, it just, I mean, like I said, I know we are very adamant about not painting brick, but, you know, on that one, to me,
Oh,
it needs some help. It either needs to be plastered over or painted or something. The other one definitely not painted, because that brick is nothing wrong with it. The bottom on the columns, the brick is fine. They stopped right there at where that awning used to be, because everything from there up, it's just, I mean, that's just my opinion on it. I don't know what else you could do with it. If you left it like that, it just, I think it doesn't look good for downtown. It just looks like a worn out old building. So that's where I think
It's interesting, as you just see snippets of the buildings beside, that there's no continuous line there that ties those buildings together.
Correct.
And I think Ms. Chris said it, that is there a way to protect the integrity of that structure behind it by sealing these bricks, whether that's by stucco or paint or something to help that? I know it takes a long time for it to be damaged, but.
Yeah, it's just whenever they, like I said, when they sandblasted it, we
Yeah,
have
took that
strict
finish
rules of
off.
doing that, and they
Yeah.
didn't do a good job. They just stripped it. That's why I'm thinking, in the long run, you know, just for the fact of that building, when you take that glaze off of there, then you expose that brick under, because they're all fired brick.
Yeah.
Now you're open to the environment, and it's just gonna get worse and worse.
little worse
That's why
over
I'd
time.
rather see it be plastered over, or put some, you know,
Yeah.
paint on it, and they could put
The-
block filler on it and seal it real good, and then paint it?
The awning itself, is it gonna go back where that wood, right above the columns, that's where the awning
Yeah,
would go?
where-
And they have two different linear distances. The width would be 50 coming out from the store front, and then it's a certain distance,
Correct.
200.
Yeah,
It'll-
where,
it'll
where
go
is it?
along
Is it gonna
here.
go the
It goes
whole
along
length of the
there.
building?
Okay.
Well, so they had two options, right? They had a 220
Yeah.
option and a 120
Yeah,
option,
so,
so.
yeah, we'll have to
So
determine
what
the
happens to the
placement.
rest of that if it doesn't go the whole way? They're gonna clean that up, make it
Yes.
look good? I mean, that's rough.
Yeah, this will be like for like right here, the wind that we had a few weeks ago, that actually damaged that. But they do plan to paint and replace like for like on that awning right there.
Because
And
that
that
looks-
has been removed.
That looks like one of those cantilever awnings like Fuentes has, where it cranks out. That's what that looked like. Because I don't see any buckles or anything on top to actually hold an awning up. That's what makes me think it was a crank out.
I have a question on where the placement of the sign's gonna be. And
The
how big it's gonna
placement?
be.
It'll be right here on, along the top here. They're not going to put it on that marquee type awning. It will be up here.
Will it be centered?
And what does the
or
sign
more-
look like? What is it? I mean, the sign ordinance will dictate how big the sign's gonna be.
Right.
So it's just, that's it, Vita?
Yeah, it'll be Vita and it'll be backlit,
So it'll be individual letters backlit like that,
correct.
like
And it'll
this.
be more shifted over, and this may be a question for the applicants when they come up. It'll be more shifted over to the main entrance on the left as opposed to
Not in the center of the
centered
building.
or on the right? Or, and that may be a question for them when
Yeah,
they
we'll
come
ask
up.
them
It's gonna be a
here in a
question
minute.
for them.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times on a remodel this big, we have renderings or we have color overlay of the building to kind of see it. But I guess that's not required for us to
Yeah.
look, I mean, to really kind of make sure we know what we're approving and where everything's
Absolutely.
going to end up and land and lay and,
Yeah, that's why I tried to point the best I could, but.
yeah. Well, and even for the client too, to see these two different buildings with lots of stuff going on, changing a lot of things.
yeah, I
So it might
agree.
be
I
very
agree.
helpful
Yes.
for them to see kind of what it's looking like as well. Some
I
of the
agree.
colors that are
I
picked.
mean, I guess that's something that we could table and have it brought back for more information. I mean, if the board sees fit. I mean, I agree, there's a lot going on right there. I mean, like the awnings, it, you know, we don't know, we need to talk to them, but, what's underneath gonna be? Is it gonna have lighting in it? I mean, there's a lot of unknowns on this.
We do have the applicant here if you would like to speak with them.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that we'll just do each individual one.
Okay.
So, yes, if you'd like to come up and speak, please.
We got Cindy and Danielle.
Thank you.
If you'll please state your name.
I'm Cynthia Odine, I'm the owner of the building.
Okay.
And this is, go ahead.
My name's Danielle Villegas, and I'm the designer.
Oh, okay, okay. Would it be possible where we could get y'all to go ahead and do a rendering of it where we can actually see what it's gonna look like? Especially, if we're gonna go ahead and paint the building, if we see fit to do that. If not, have to come in and plaster it or something like that.
So I guess I'm confused because we did look at the plaster or the material of the building really, really well. And it is painted. It does really, really look like brick. It's stucco just like the building right next to us to the left side. But the right side is brick, but the Vita side is not brick. It is actually painted. You can see the
They
stucco.
painted the
through.
grout joints in it?
It's just the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
It is like, you can see the lines are actually not even
If you
that
touch it, it's
straight.
smooth.
I mean, but it is the same type of material as the building to the left, which is stucco.
Stucco.
It just really does look like brick, but it's not.
Because that used to be Wayne's Trading Post way back. I remember when I was a kid, we used to go there.
So my only concern with like having to bring it back, so I guess if we could explain to y'all a little bit more closely of what you're needing, is just because I am trying to apply for tiers, which is due April 11th. I
Sure.
really need the help, so I know I need it to be approved by y'all. So at the same time, kind of like the other lady said, whatever options we have or what we can discuss that y'all can agree upon would be great, because I really need the help and I really want to try to apply for that. So I mean, we did, get the options of the colors, and we had been talking with the city to try to find out what our options would be better to try to get approval. And one of the things was trying to find colors that were historical colors. The reason for the 3 options on the other side is because we did know that brick is, hard to get painted when it's in the historical district. But with that being said, the Vita side is not brick, I promise. I mean, we looked at it multiple times, and it's the same material as the one to the left, which is stucco. So the options of the paint that we tried to get was just more of in the historical line, which we do have, the.
Would you like to see the paint
the
samples?
paint samples. But, I mean, that's the only thing on that side that I could tell you as far as,
And so like the awning you were gonna do, is it gonna go the whole length of that building, or?
we had
from
2
one-
options. I mean, of course, also at the same time, whether it's gonna be cost effective. So that's why I wanted to see if, we can.
Well, that's where it's hard for us to see when, if it's not actually on the building.
So the
you know,
first,
It just doesn't, it's hard
So
to,
it's almost kind of like the same one that Raw has, kind of, I mean. so
Yeah, I
it's
did
kind of the
those.
Exact same, it's
Yeah.
pretty much the same one.
yeah, so the 2 sizes are, the first size, the longer one goes the length of whole building for the awning. The second one is just inset a little to cover like the seating area plus the door area. But the awning, those are just 2 examples. Those are the same awning. They'll look just like that. So it's gonna be the black, the historic black.
What would the soffit be?
yeah, what's gonna,
Or would it be?
So so on the back of the building, I guess it just depends on what you guys want for the color back there. But,
well, no, he's talking about underneath.
Oh, you're talking about.
oh, yes, I'm sorry, sir. Yes.
Yeah,
black,
raw, I did
yes.
the metal panels.
Correct,
Over there,
yeah,
so it's, what,
yeah.
is it gonna, looks like that's wood on some of that, what
We're
do
gonna
you,
do metal, a metal one.
metal, what?
For the awning, right?
No, I'm talking
I'm
about
sorry.
underneath, the soffit underneath.
Oh.
The ceiling in it.
I see what you're
What's,
saying.
I did the metal panels over there, the
Yeah.
24 by 24. So
Yes.
what is this gonna be?
So we have some quotes from different vendors to do something like that. So the one that we have is, one of the quotes is 100% metal, but if you would prefer wood, we can have her.
Well, that's just it, see, we need to see that panel, we actually need a physical panel to approve. And then we need to know what the color's gonna be on it, if there's gonna be any lighting in it.
Yep, so just the
Is there gonna
black,
be gutters on the front of that awning?
no gutters, just
See,
the black like that, no underlighting.
Yeah, well,
Just
the
black
problem
and-
is, it's hard for us to vote. We have to have documentation on it where we can go back and say, this is what you actually presented to us. We have a physical building we're looking at, when we're talking, I mean, that means we just can't do it that way. We need actual drawings, actual physical things that we're looking at that we're actually voting on. So
So when you
we
say
need a
that-
lot more information.
So on the awning, you mean like we would need to, what would you need from us?
I need to, like, if you're gonna do those raised panels, like they did the old style metal ceilings, we need an actual panel
We need
that
to
we
get
can
a
look
panel
at.
and bring with us?
Yes. Or, well, if you
I
can
wasn't
get
aware
a
of that.
picture of it, a good picture, we can vote off of that, but we
But that
need to
is the
see.
picture there of what we're, yeah.
you didn't know.
Because we sent so the 2, just to be clear, there's 2 different ones with awnings, so I understand maybe that's where there's confusion. Originally, we were hoping that, like where it says the box office, we would do the Vita sign there, but we're actually proposing the top one, so just the awning by itself, the top one to the left, that exact style, we're not doing any lighting, and then above it where it says, whatever that says, Beau Monde, would be where the Vita was. And it's a metal awning.
Well, but the problem is we can't see I can't tell what's underneath that awning.
Right, usually
I
we
mean-
have architectural drawings of each panel piece or spec sheets if it's like lighting or things that are added. With this awning, there will be, obviously, when it goes time for the building permit, obviously, will that facade hold that awning? And that's where the architectural drawings come in and kind of gives them the more detail that they can decide, is this historically correct for this building? Because that's, once it's approved, there's no alterations. You can't change what's been approved by the board unless you come back to the board. And so they want to make sure that when they make the approval, that it's correct for the style of the building and for that. While they give some leeway to city staff to help through that process, there is really the need for, so when they're looking at those two awnings, obviously the one at the top doesn't have any lighting on it, that one at the bottom does have lighting. So in their mind, which one are we trying to approve?
And
So
we
they're
need to
trying
know the
get
depth
through-
of it, the height of it's got to be 9 foot, you got to get an encroachment agreement from the city.
We got
So
all that, and the
there's-
measurements are on here.
Yeah.
It's this way.
So I think that's where they have a hard time conceptualizing.
Yeah, I can't tell 240 inches. I need to see it drawn
Does-
on the building.
does it- where does
I
that
need-
fit
I
on
need
the
to-
facade?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that means nothing, really.
Well, okay, so I guess that's where we didn't realize that that's something that y'all needed, so.
We can do it easily, but then it would postpone everything, right? Because like she was saying, our big thing is to make the tiers.
Well, yeah, we
meeting.
can't approve anything till we have all the information.
So can we get?
We would have to table it and then bring it back at another time unless we have another, I mean, that's up to staff
I mean,
unless we
that's
have
easy to
another
do a
meeting.
rendering. We can get
I mean,
it.
I understand you're in a time crunch with tiers, but there's just not enough information
there-
for us to vote
mean,
on. I mean, there's too many unknowns. And I don't want to, I mean, we want it to look good. And the problem is, if we don't have that information, then people just kind of do whatever they want to do, and then we have trouble coming back on them because we have no documentation. It's a he said, she said type situation, and, we just can't operate like that.
Is there any way to do some sort of a conditional approvals to allow them to move forward to get, I mean, because tiers application's
Yeah.
annual, right? Or,
Yeah,
Well, the deadline for this tiers that I was hoping to apply for is April 11th.
yeah, I mean,
I guess my question then would be, if you can't and we have to, can we at least get the colors, the painting and the sign, and then I could always come back?
so that's my question is like what, and maybe this is more for city staff, for tiers, for the tiers application, what do they need from us? I mean, does it have to say like,
We have to have an approval.
It has to have an approval for what, if there's items on their application for tiers and they fall in the DHRC district like this, what items are they asking for funding for has to have approval from DHRC.
Yeah, like that awning and all that, they'd have to have it specific, this is what we agreed on, this is what they're gonna pay for, so.
So the question is, what in your application, what is covered?
Well, all of it was.
All of that.
covered, but at this point, whatever you can at least approve to make the building look better, because my hopes is to be open by, at the latest, June. And of course, I don't want to open with it looking like that on the outside. And I don't really have much time to play with my bank and all that to say, oh, I can wait till the next tiers program. That's where I feel kind of like it's hard for me, because I do need the help, but I don't want to open my business with the exterior looking like that. So the awning is great. I think it would make the building look beautiful, but if it's something that you're saying you can't approve for me for tiers, even if it's just.
Well,
the
I think
painting
what
and
we
the-
could do is, I'm not speaking for the whole board, but if we could agree on the length of that awning, and then we could have a deal where they come back and bring a panel that we could say, look, it needs to be a decorative metal panel, and it could be done administratively by Kim. That way, that would be my only deal. I want to see what that is, and as long as it's not wood, because it can't be wood, it's got to be fire retardant and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So we could basically go ahead and approve that, and then that way you could take it to tiers and keep you going on it, because the paint and all that, I think, we could approve that. Vote on that. Yeah, the body of the building and all that. The awning would be my only question. I want more information on that, but if we could put in the motion that says you will bring us back something
Yes.
that, I don't know, maybe a couple of board members could look at it too. I don't know. We'd have to figure that out. We could, and then the color of what it's gonna be under there, we don't, on that other one, we did gold under it. So I don't know, we need a color for that. And we could keep, is this something, Aaron, that could be possibly
Yeah, I think.
keep this going?
Because then you're just really giving an approval with some conditions.
Yeah, with
that
some
they would meet the
conditions, yeah.
conditions. That would meet the tiers application requirement, so they could still move forward with the
Okay.
tiers application. If there are some details that you're wanting to find out about, like you said, the decorative panels, and I think
Yeah.
y'all are just thinking about just painting it the same black
Yes.
underneath
Yeah.
of the awning, I think then we could do that decorative panel. We just have the, a group that could
You
just,
know, the colors and all, we'll just
Yeah.
have to discuss that, the colors and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to do one
I
of
think it
these
would
at
be
a time?
best if you could do
Let's
just one
do
building
this.
at a time.
Let's bring up the front of the building again. So we got 240 inches. That's,
Am I going the wrong way? Okay, sorry.
Oh, wrong way.
so that I'm clear of what,
Here, I'll tell you,
What am I doing?
why don't y'all, I think,
so that's,
here,
Sorry about that.
that's 10, that's 20 feet, 240.
Cool, okay.
Okay, so basically we got, that one of them is gonna be 20 foot. So you're saying on that one, it would come in, I don't know what the front of that building is. Usually they're 25, but that one's bigger than that. So it won't be two separate awnings, in other words. It's
No.
gonna be one continuous 240 inches or 142 inches.
Yes, sir.
So,
oh, we definitely want bigger.
Yeah.
me too. I think that it needs to be the 240 inch
Okay.
awning. Otherwise, it's gonna look squatty on there. The only other question I have on there, so is there lighting up underneath when you walk up under there's lighting already?
There's already light.
It'd be nice to have some kind of lighting underneath there, because we did the Squahitos. I think they have
Yes.
lighting under their awnings. I mean, does anybody have an opinion on that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no, I think that,
yes, no?
yes, yeah, yes on lighting.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, and that would just be typical I mean, if it's just typical
yeah,
can
just,
lighting, I
yeah,
don't think that needs
recessed
to be
can, I
necessarily
think it would
approved
be
because it's
nice.
not
I
visually
mean,
visible.
as far as walkway and safety and all that, I
Yes.
would like to see, 4 recessed cans put up underneath there. You'd have 2 under each one, so they'd be about 4 feet apart. So you did 4 6-inch recessed cans under
Minimum, I would just
there.
say a minimum of 4 cans.
Yeah.
If you wanna do more,
Minimum of 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'd like, well, put it in a motion, but then I would like to have, if you're gonna do the decorative panels, the 2x4 decorative panels, we need to see what those look like, and those can be brought back, and we'll let them do it administratively, and then a
Okay.
color for that underneath.
All black.
And then,
Yes.
does anybody have any other questions or concern about the paint colors or anything? Or about where they're gonna paint, not paint?
I just gotta
So-
say, I'm not wild about these white column things that are just kinda shooting up.
So just the columns to the top
also
where the
the-
awning's gonna go will be white. Everything from there is gonna be the
No,
navy.
No, they're showing the white going above, all the way at the vertical points, all the way up to the,
So it's actually going to be like
Oh,
framing.
okay, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So the top as well, sir, or everyone, it's going to be like a frame. So the top one will be that white and the columns. So it's going to, the historic
Okay, so
white's
that
going to
little
frame the
band on the
building.
top, that
Yes,
little
sir.
6-inch band is gonna be white.
Yes, sir.
Then the columns will be white,
Yes.
and then everything else will be the navy.
and there'll be a black awning.
And we're flexible. I mean, we're not, if you would prefer it to be one color, that's fine. We were thinking the white just to make it pop from the street a little more, to
So then
define
the
it.
bottom's gonna be black.
No, the railings will be black.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
you see, yeah, and
Store-
so
the-
the storefront's gonna be the navy,
The green.
the Newburgh green.
Yeah. Yeah, the painted wood that's back there now, it'll be the Newburgh green, but the upper facade would be the
Y'all are
navy.
more professional in colors than me, I can't see anything.
Would you like to see them? We have the swatches.
Yeah.
Yes,
please.
yes, can we
Okay,
see
so
them?
let
I know,
me
because
show
that
you.
navy to me, that looks like
We're just
gray.
doing Vita right now.
That looks like
and
gray
here's
to me. It
the
doesn't look-
historic white, the bigger one.
I don't know.
Even the
Y'all
historic
are-
black.
better.
And then
I'm
these are
not
the
a
rings
color
that are
person.
I'll do tipsy.
So the middle column will be white as
Yes,
well.
ma'am, yes.
And then your sign's gonna be in the center
In the
of the
center.
left
Of the whole building.
Of the whole building.
of the whole building.
But it's individual letters.
Yes, correct.
And what scale is that? Is it, how big is that gonna be?
Yeah, so we didn't actually have those numbers, but our intent, our hope is, obviously as big as you guys would allow it to be.
So is that something we would vote on, the size of the, I mean, I know there's a certain percentage of the building you can do with the sign.
Correct. For the facade, it would be up to 25%.
Yes.
For the
Since
signage.
we don't have it on there, we don't really know how big it's gonna be.
Is there, I think if you go 2 slides forward, was there a sign on there?
We maybe we did give them the measurements.
Maybe one more? Where was, I know y'all had a picture of
Yeah,
similar of what the sign was, because you're doing,
there we go.
there he is.
There's no
Yeah.
dimension on it.
So it would be like this one on the right side.
That's what it's gonna look like
With the
with backlit.
backlit,
Yes,
but
sir.
just VIDA.
Correct, that's the name
Okay.
of the organization, or the
Okay.
bar.
So again, they have the ability to go up to 25%, which is, that's a pretty good size frontage. So those could be pretty good size sign,
So-
or letters. I mean, they could be 2-foot tall
Yeah.
letters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So
they
what
maybe-
color is the letter gonna be?
Just black like that, yes, and backlit. It's
Oh,
gonna
and
look
then they're gonna
exactly
be
like
yellow on the back will be,
Yeah, just back, not yellow, but it's like a.
whatever that
the
is.
light- It's lighting.
so there'll be
So it's a
black
warm light
letters,
tone.
cause you got white over here. So the letters, can we put that, the letters of the sign will be black, because here they're white. And they'll be backlit.
Yeah.
And the black on this one is, ma'am, is just for we're gonna clean up the railings there, because they're real old. So that was the historic
We
one.
had a question about
Yes.
the white brick. They're kind of like pilasters, the parts that come forward a little bit on the edges of the building.
Yes.
Will the center part go all the way to the top of the building in a white streak?
No, ma'am, just the bottom part where the seating area is.
Okay.
Yes.
That was the answer.
Yes.
So you'll basically see like 3 columns.
Correct.
Can we see that front again, the front of the building? Because does see that column, it sticks out
Yes.
in the middle. See that? It's got, see how it looks like it protrudes out just a little bit?
Yeah, it's like a pilot.
Yeah, right there. So that'll just be the color of the navy.
Yes, exactly.
Is that what you're asking? See how you can see
Yeah, that's
that
what we're
column?
asking.
So
And
think
so
it would look
it's
better
not
not
gonna
to-
be white, it's gonna be,
Yeah, so y'all are good with that?
It's a bar. Well, they're 2 different bars. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. 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 Well, part of the issue we ran into, we had picked out other colors, but then we're told that we need to use historic colors. So there's just not a lot to choose from. And we did want it to be kind of a moodier feel, but then add that white to brighten it a little bit. And with the sign having it be backlit, we're hoping that'll achieve that. So we were actually originally wanting to paint the railings gold, but, we couldn't find a historic gold that we liked. So that's why we pivoted to just cleaning them up, the black that's on there already.
so do you envision, what color lettering do you envision that to be?
Black.
Black
With the
lettering
Yeah, with the light and the
On
backlit.
a navy blue
Yes, but it's gonna be backlit.
backlit,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Where's that navy color? Is that right there?
Yeah. The values are just so
That's the
close
navy?
together.
Yes.
I mean, you know this.
Yes.
That your perception of them being different is hard.
It's hard, yes.
Yeah.
We wanted to, and like I said, we wanted to not just keep it black. We wanted to create some interest with color. Oh, I should mention this. So one of the ways that we, like he mentioned it before, there are can lights already under the seating area. So I don't have the little thing, but you guys can see where the seating area is. There are can lights. So we were hoping to put some in there, and I guess this is something we could discuss. They're already there, so we're not changing it, but create maybe a color through that. So bring in those spaces, obviously a lighter color that would, a bright color that would pop, so you can see the tones of the blue and the green. So that was how we were gonna achieve kind of making sure the color, you could see what it actually is. But yeah, originally our colors were brighter than that, but there are no historic colors that match that. So we had to pick one of the historic colors, and those were the closest to what we can get to what we were wanting.
Are you gonna replace the wood paneling and glazing back there, or are you just gonna paint it?
So the plan is, on that side, there is not any, is there rot on that side? On the Vita side, is there rot?
No, what we're looking at right there, that's gonna be basically under the awning, right? That's gonna be painted Newburgh green, is that gonna be replaced or just?
Yes, no, yeah, it's gonna stay the way it is. It's in good, that part's in good condition.
So you're just gonna paint that?
Correct,
Newburgh
because
green?
it's black right now, so
Okay,
paint it, yeah. So it's still gonna be a dark color, like Chris pointed out, but it, and to answer Donna, I think hopefully my intention is with the brighter lighting, we're gonna change out the lighting, make it brighter. It'll be more apparent that that part is a different color than the rest of the building.
So what I'm getting at here is that what we're looking at is paint and paint colors, which isn't a huge cost as per your tiers application. And so I'm wondering if we can approve the awning so you can go ahead and apply for tiers application, get your tiers application for that money, because I don't want to hold up that business, but as far as paint colors, maybe we can have some further discussion there. Is that?
I just really hate the way the paint looks right now. And it is a pretty good portion of cost.
Well, I know, but what he's saying is it doesn't matter to Tiers what color it is. They just want to know, you've got a cost to have that building painted.
Yes.
That's all they want to see. They
Okay.
don't care about the colors. That's what we decide
Okay,
on.
so we can come back.
So
Aaron, is
I
that?
kind of agree with Brooks. I think we're a little off on the colors here.
Yeah, and
Yeah. And so you could still apply for tiers. We will approve, we would have to put a motion that says we are going to approve painting the building,
Okay,
but the colors are not chosen
Okay.
right now. But then that way you've got an approval from us,
Yes.
and you've got a cost that you've already figured out,
Yeah.
and you can go to Tiers and say, look, this is what it's gonna cost. They approve the colors.
perfect.
They don't need to know
What colors it is?
what colors they are,
yeah.
but I kind of agree with Brooks. I'm a little hesitant about these colors.
Well, and we'd
and I
love
think
to.
A lot of us are.
Can we bring you maybe the next time we discuss this, the original colors we really wanted, but they're not historical is only, or in that
Well,
category?
you should have brought them to us anyway. I mean, I'd
Okay.
like to see,
and I do
you
think what
know,
Chris was
I
saying.
mean,
is
I'm not trying to undermine staff. I mean, there's a lot of pinks and stuff that aren't historical colors too.
No, we picked
know,
historic
so-
pinks for you guys.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but we like another pink
I'm
better.
just,
I would highly recommend get someone to overlay these for you, and so you
Yeah,
can look at
we
it
can
and
do
see what
that
it's
for
gonna look
sure,
like.
yeah.
I think that would be.
Yeah.
Try some different colors. I mean, this is really dark.
Because that's gonna
It's
be a
really-
big,
And I'm
Party or-
all about dark and moody, but I think there's not enough difference
contrast.
between the navy and the green and the black where
Yeah.
it's just off enough where it's gonna be kind of disconcerting.
I'm worried about your sign being on that dark navy. If
Yeah.
you have black letters, like
Yeah.
at night, it will look cool because
Yeah.
it will be backlit, but during the day, nobody's going to see the name of your storefront at all because it'll be just too dark. It'd be hard to see. So, and I would like to see something that really makes it stand out so people know.
Yeah.
And see the name of your business.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the colors we had were off, like, there was like one similar to your shirt color actually, so we had it brighter and more vibrant, but then, we're told that just to pick from the historic, so that's why they don't have anything, the brighter ones are just, you guys definitely wouldn't have liked those. So we were kind of just settling, honestly, for
Well,
what we
and maybe
could.
we can get the field as a historic color and we can find some compromise on,
Okay,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
and then next time we present it, we can have a rendering for you all too, that's easy
That
to
would
do.
be great because
Yes.
it's hard to
Yes,
picture
absolutely.
all of that together.
Okay, so let's move on with the tile on the front. I think that's the only other thing that
Yes.
we're
Okay.
missing.
Yeah.
Can we see that floor? So that's terrazzo tile, I mean, that's terrazzo floor right there
I'm
with
all
tile
for trying to
inserts.
Clean and restore that, I think. that's-
Do what?
I'm all for trying to clean and restore that, I think.
You're all for
Trying to clean and
cleaning,
restore.
yes, yes,
Option 2.
yes.
logo change.
I am too.
Is it kind of in bad shape along that front edge, though?
Yes, ma'am.
They could fix that. I mean, you could cut that and grout it or something. I looked at that too, but yeah, it's the original terrazzo floor.
And does it
in
go
there.
all the way in that little seating area,
Yeah,
all
see,
of it?
that's
too?
Oh, not the
Original.
seating area. The seating area is like a wood laminate, I think, or it, yeah.
No,
It does go all the way
Oh, I'm
across.
sorry,
top.
not on
To
the
the
top layer,
right.
but the bottom, yes. uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, so what about the logo change on it? What is everybody thought of that?
And just to clarify, we're okay with nothing or changing it to Vita, but just different than what it says. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think, change.
So what would you do though? If they change the sign in there, what's it gonna be?
Change it to Vita.
Vita.
No, I know, but with
With
what
the same-
material? I mean, what's it gonna look
So we
like?
have a gentleman that does the epoxy for us, which he's doing that on the inside, and he looked at it, and he does concrete, he does a lot of things. He said he can easily, like Donna mentioned, fix those pieces to make it look like the terrazzo and clean it up. And he already approved, like he said that it'll look just like that, you won't know the difference.
So he can make it with the Vita, okay.
Yes, sir.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
It's like a pinkish,
It
like mauve-y. We can if that's what y'all want, yeah.
So is it a tan, or, I guess once you clean it up, what's that underlying?
Well, I think once it's cleaned up, then I think, let's just put in there that we want it to match as close as possible to the original, sign color.
Okay,
And, you know, because once you clean it, it's gonna look totally different.
yes, for sure. He said it's gonna
So,
look amazing.
and
He
then
was
so
real
we
excited about it.
are good for changing the sign, the logo on the sign
Yes,
to Vita, but make it consistent with the color that's there right now,
yes.
okay? All right, so let's go ahead and vote on this one. So we need to put this in a motion, which is,
That's gonna be
do
tricky.
you want,
Karen, do you want to try to make that a motion, or do you want me to try to?
Can you summarize it for us?
And
we have
before we
comments
proceed,
on-
if we may, just for the record, indicate whether or not we had public comment on this agenda
I'm
item?
sorry.
Thank you.
That's all right.
yeah, sorry, is there any public comment?
Yes, Cindy and Danielle.
Any other? No? Okay, sorry. Okay, so
I
let's
just- I'm so
summarize.
sorry, can I ask one quick question? If we did, just to go off what, I forgot who said it, but if we did move, would y'all prefer us to do the sign on the awning? Would you like that better? Can we go back to the, options of the
I
sign?
don't see how that would work. You would-
Okay, cause see, we're on the building,
The
okay.
weather here, the wind.
Yeah, okay,
No,
sounds
it-
good. I
It
didn't
needs
know
to
if
be
that
on,
was
it needs to
preferable.
be on the building.
I think on the building would be
Yeah.
best,
But I do
yeah.
have a quick question, I don't know. if
Yes.
it's- So with the motion of coming back, but with approval, do we have to come to the next meeting or just present the changes in the colors to?
I think it needs to come back to,
But
to
still be
another.
able to apply for the tiers?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes, that's
Yeah,
what
great.
we're trying to work with you
Thank
as
you.
best we
Yes.
can. So if we can go ahead and summarize in a motion.
Yeah,
or do
because-
one of us need to do the motion, or can you?
Tiers is April 11th, right? Yeah, and so our next meeting would be the 17th, so it would just be
Perfect, okay.
within a week. Okay.
Sounds great.
So I'll go ahead and read the
Okay.
summary, and if you want to make a motion to approve the summary, then we can
Okay.
go from there. So for the Vita awning, y'all are going to motion to approve the 240 by 50 awning with lighting included in that. That will be brought to the next meeting.
Put minimum 4 cans.
Yep, I have that.
Yeah.
With the minimum of the 4 cans, and the decorative panels, 2 by 4, need to be seen.
Metal stamped. Can
Metal
we-
stamped.
You know, metal stamped panels.
All right, so the metal stamped panels, you'll want to see those painted all black. The top of the building. The 6-inch band and the columns are to be historic white. And of course, the
Well, are
sign.
we
I-
gonna
We're gonna
put that
wait
in
on
there?
the-
We're not.
we're gonna know.
We're not
Wait
gonna,
on the
we're just gonna say, I mean, how should they word that? We're just gonna say, we agreeing to,
I think you're agreeing to
Paint the
allow
building.
painting of the facade for the colors to be decided at
At
a
a-
future date.
okay, there you go.
Okay, so color
What he
approval
said.
pending.
Yeah. Okay,
All right, and then going with tile option 2 to clean and restore, matching the color of the Barone as close as possible to the original.
and changing the logo.
Yep, changing the
Vita.
logo.
Y'all are good at this. That was a joint effort. Excellent is doing great work.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, next. 210.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to 210. Okay, on this one, I definitely have a problem with, let's go to the options. We need to do on this one, we don't paint the brick, because there's nothing wrong with that brick. So let's sum it up here. If we can, where's the other option? Okay, so you'd have white,
Correct. So on this
Pink.
option, Rachel, pink.
yeah,
where
leave the brick
black-
as is. That's my thinking. I prefer the white. I'm kind of tired of the black. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, and then you would have,
So the little insets would be,
will be black?
no, this Rachel pink.
Oh, they'd be pink, so white and pink.
Yeah, the white trim
Yeah,
will be
I
pink
think
and-
I like that better myself.
Leave the brick
It makes it
as
more
is.
fresh. It's such,
Yeah.
it's just such a dark
Nice.
color. What do you? What do you think?
And the building next to it, there's not a picture, but it's white brick painted, because I think probably someone painted it one time,
Yeah,
so-
that was,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we did
And then-
that one. That was originally painted.
Yes,
When it was the
like-
Coney Island.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then that one's white next to it, just to give you guys a reference, white and like a bright green, I would say, a little bit of a brighter green, maybe like your shirt, the building to the right. That, for this building, a bar, so it's
This
called
is the bar swap.
Tipsy Pink,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
And so all the windows and all that are staying the same, you're not doing anything to that. What about is there wood trim up on the windows up top? So we're not, you're gonna paint that too, aren't you? Is
Yes,
that gonna
sir.
be white, I guess?
Correct, yes,
And so,
yeah.
so we're not touching any of the brick on that, none of the lintels, none of the stonework. So just basically the wood on it
White with the pink trim.
and the trim. Yes.
And that wood, some of the wood, like where the big star is in the middle, it's pretty rotted out, so we wanted to try to replace some of that with like to like, because it's.
Yeah,
Before
that's
we
fine.
paint it.
Yeah, as long as you use the same
Yes.
material.
And there is a crack in one window, I mean, so we'll have to get that repaired.
The what now?
There's a crack in one of those windows, so we'll
Oh,
have to
yeah,
replace that, yeah.
As long as you just replace it
Yes.
with what's there. And there's no awning going on that, or is there?
There
Oh,
is.
yeah, there is an awning.
Yes, so there's two choices for that. And this awning, just to give you a frame reference, is just over the doors. The sizes are on there as well, right there.
So
But
just over the door.
yes,
We have one 228 and one, okay, now we're back to that again. Can we see that? One 89 inches?
The 89 would cover the doorway.
yes,
and
sir,
the
that's
other-
what we prefer, but there's the bigger option would be the whole area if y'all
Can we
want.
see the front of the building again?
Right.
So the big one would cover the whole front.
Yeah, which we don't really love that. We'd like it just to cover the door. That's our preference, but we
I
just want to give a
prefer
couple
just the doors
options.
myself.
Yeah.
I think it would look better.
And would it hang just right above the doors? It wouldn't be all the way above that next window?
Just
Is that
above the
right?
doors,
It wouldn't be
yes,
above the
yes,
transom,
uh-huh.
just right there.
Correct.
What about the style? What does everybody think about the style of the awning? It's more up, I kind of like the option two.
Is that that's a fabric awning?
Yes, sir.
So in some ways, fabric awning, this is an area that they possibly could have a little bit more pop of color, but again, like you said, the solid white is very historic. But this also is, if it's that smaller awning that's just over the double doors, that might be an option for a pop of color there with the stripes.
Yeah, do your,
And just because we're gonna paint all of the back white, I just don't know if the white, of the solid white awning would just kind of blend in with the white.
I would do a color in it.
I think the pink would kind of help that white in the
What
back.
if you did that pink?
That's possible.
And if y'all don't like the stripes, we can do it just pink would be, I know it's not up there, but. It's not a real heavy pink, yeah.
Yeah.
Historical.
Yeah,
It's gonna look white by the end of the summer anyway, so it'll be.
And I like the style of the bottom awning.
That's an historical.
yeah, that's the only historical pink, well, there's
Yeah.
the best one.
So that's my vote would be to do the bottom awning in the pink, solid
Okay.
color.
Awesome.
Where's the sign gonna go on this one?
Yeah, so,
Where's
can you
that
go
gonna
back to
go?
the-
That's the one where it's in the,
Yes.
oh, and then the floor, that's the original floor there. I'd like to just see it cleaned up.
Yeah, we'll do that. The same gentleman said that he
I
could
like option 2.
fix that up. Okay, that's not a problem. Can you go back to the building one?
Yeah, where's the,
So, yeah, do you see where Cindy mentioned that there's wood rot? That's where we were planning on putting the sign, in that little area right there.
where it says,
Black or white historic,
Oh, right
yeah, all
there.
right there,
Uh-huh.
above right there, yes.
Yeah, right in between, right? there,
Yes.
Like the top windows and.
so is it gonna go in the middle of the doors? Or to the side?
Right in the center.
Right in the center.
The center,
Mm-hmm.
where it's, I guess,
I still don't follow that. Right in the center of what? The,
of the doors.
yeah, the whole,
I think the doors, because that side door to the left is actually where you go up to the offices.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it kind of is not part of that initial building.
Yeah, it's the center for that part.
okay.
Aesthetically, I think that's how it would look better, but whatever y'all guys think is great.
No, I think back to your doors.
Yes.
Be across the lintel, you divide the lintel, the strong white piece.
Yes. Kind of right in between those.
Do I need to have other public comment on this one? Is there anybody else?
They're the only ones signed
Okay.
up for public comment. Oh, Monica is signed up.
Get it right. I'm learning.
And Karen, could you show the design of the sign as well? I think that's on maybe the first slide, just so they have.
And it'll be lit, correct?
Yes, sir, that's what, it's backlit like that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, obviously, so picture where it says Tipsy Pink instead of the Blue Hill, that's the logo, the Tipsy Pink, and we did the historic pink in the logo. And so it'll be there with the backlit. So it's gonna be all white. Where the blue metal is, it'll be white, and the lettering will be what you see on there.
Okay, so the actual white is what will be lit up.
Yes, uh-huh.
So the whole sign is gonna not, I'm a little confused there. So the white and all the Tipsy will be all lit up.
Yes, sir.
At one
Uh-huh.
time.
It'll be like that, how it's cut out, and then the light protrudes through to create the logo.
You might miss your pink then, I guess if you're painting.
Yeah, so we would do that shade in the lights to create
Oh,
the
the
pink
lights are gonna
color.
be
Oh,
pink.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now, okay, and that makes more sense
Mm-hmm.
to me.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
Okay.
And if, a second option, if you guys don't like that, we could just do it, as you said, sir, where it's the logo on the front, and then it could just be backlit through the sides, if you just wanted it white with the actual pink. But our first intention is that it's a cutout and the pink comes through the sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I do, I'm not sure, and once you get to a signed person, how you're gonna get your glass and your diamonds cut out and all that. You know, so if it changes at all,
Yes, yeah.
you know, that's, your example is just really cut and dry letters only. So once you get
Maybe
to
we
a
need to put
graphic
that in
like
a
that,
motion
that's
that
gonna
we,
be
if-
difficult.
You know,
Yeah.
if you get to that point and
Yes.
it's drastically gonna change, then I
Yes.
would like to see that again.
Okay, yeah,
You know, we'll go ahead and approve a sign, but,
okay.
you know, Yeah, just like she says, she does a lot of that, so she's
Yeah.
a lot more familiar with that process
Cut out the
than I
letters
am.
underneath the-
Yeah. Yeah, she was just saying cut out the,
So I think when I talked to the sign lady, she said something about being able to cut out the letters and leaving the glass and the diamonds on.
As a
the
printed graphic
front.
on it,
But
right.
just the letters cut out with the pink lighting. I think that's kind of what she said. Because you're right, it would be hard to cut out all those little diamonds and stuff. So I think that's kind of what we had talked about.
Okay, so any other questions for, somebody like to put this to a motion?
Can you summarize?
I can summarize. All right, so for 210 South Chadburn, we're going to not paint the brick.
oh, I'm sorry, the buffalo, we didn't,
Oh,
yeah.
The what now?
there's the buffalo on this.
Oh,
Because it is painted and it's,
Oh, sorry, guys.
what are your plans on that? Putting a sign on it or just painting it the color?
honestly, we just wanted to see what y'all would allow us to, because we knew that probably we wouldn't be allowed to paint the brick, so we can come up with an idea. We were more so just hoping that we could paint all the brick, but we
Can we
weren't.
just paint over that sign,
The color of the
the color of the
brick?
brick?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. we
they,
can-
there's actually a color that you
Yeah,
can paint that,
okay.
that's
So
out
then I
there.
guess, yeah, if we could propose that as
Yeah, 'cause
well.
we did Fuentes
Yeah.
Cafe that way.
Yes.
So that's what I would like to see. You
Okay.
may make a motion? Okay,
you're
so
comfortable.
my motion is that we keep the original brick on the facade of the building unpainted. The buffalo on the left, it can be taken and repainted. The brick needs to be painted to match the existing brick on the building that's there now. The colors are good with what was presented on option one.
Option
Okay. Option three. Okay, well, I'm not looking at
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we're
There
gonna.
you go.
Okay, option three, we're gonna keep the tile, the original tile that's on the front of the building, the same on the entry. The awning will be option, can I see that again?
It will be
Option two,
there you
but
go.
with the pink color. And I think that was it.
And then the
And the size
sign,
would be the 89 inch?
Yeah, and the sign, I'm sorry, yeah, and the size will be option two. And then the sign will be in the center of the building over the doors. And that will, if it changes drastically, then it needs to be brought back before us, just so we can see what it looks like. But
We've
we'll
been
go and
in touch.
approve a sign as presented.
We reached out to this, we have a couple different sign people we've been talking to, so we'll have them do like an exact rendering when we come back
Yes,
for you
that
guys
would be
next.
perfect. Okay, so we have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Donna, you have something?
Well, I don't know, I'm going back to this striped awning in my brain.
You like it? I don't mind a strapped on it, or what do you
Well,
think?
I'm just thinking, how close to that historic pink will you really be able to come in awning material?
That's true.
And by cutting it into the stripe pattern, it will tend to look more closely related, for one thing.
Anybody have an opinion on that? Okay, I will change my motion to a striped awning, pink and white striped awning. The style, option two, painted, option one. So we have a motion and a second?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate your
y'all.
time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for working with us. If you have any questions,
Yes,
please
here's your paint
don't hesitate to
colors.
call us.
Thank you so much, we appreciate it.
Okay, our next order of business is Director's Report.
Thank you, Chairman. Aaron Vannoy, Director of Planning Development Services. Going to give you all a quick update on the Cultural Overlay District Zone. There is a town hall meeting for the Cultural Overlay District on April the 1st at 6 p.m. over at the Fine Arts Museum. This is just going to go over some of the highlights of what we've been working on. This is a cultural district expansion. It fits into Mr. Harry Thomas and Miss Karen Hesse Smith's district. Their districts actually kind of break right over here on Cohenheim. This is the one that's going north, the one-way going north. That side is Karen Hesse Smith. Everything else over on this side is Mr. Harry Thomas. It's in the Fort Concho and Santa Rita neighborhood. So our current district is just right here with the Fine Arts Museum and this little area right in here. But we are looking to expand it to the red area, which will very closely match what the Fine Arts Museum through the Texas Commission on the Arts has. And so this really is a zoning designation and an expansion of the design district for cultural areas. So there's a multitude of different zonings that are in there. What we are doing is actually going in and putting in similar to what's up here in the Central Business District. We will actually create a CD, a cultural district overlay, which will allow many of these uses from office commercial, neighborhood commercial. This yellow is two-family residential. This darker pink actually is CGCH. It will still allow the CG, but not the heavy commercial, which is CH. And then this lighter blue is light manufacturing, which kind of goes right along the railroad. That light manufacturing would come out, but would still allow the general commercial. We have not found any actual businesses that are acting as light manufacturing in this area. There are some that are acting as heavy commercial. In our ordinance specifically, we are going to give them, if they're a vacant building, they get to keep that status for up to 2 years. If they're an active business, they get to keep that zoning status moving forward. It doesn't change their zoning status. If they ever came back and changed the business type, then it would go back to more of a general commercial type of business. So the cultural district vision, there's lots of different colors in there. The only one that doesn't really fit in is this industrial down here, which is actually housing, which is right across from Fort Concho Elementary. The reason this is industrial is as you go further south, and you can kind of see that this is red in here, this is an AEP substation, and then it actually is city property further south along the river, which used to be, there's some water treatment plant stuff in there, but the consistency is neighborhood. All of these other districts fit within that cultural district, trying to protect the assets that we have there from Fort Concho, the Paseo, municipal pool, the Fine Arts Museum, the Buffalo Soldiers historic area, the Welcome Center, and trying to make the area more cohesive for supportive of downtown, supportive of its own district for our cultural and historic amenities that we have. As y'all can see, many of these. I really like our municipal pool building. It's a really cool building. So we've been working on this. In fact, many folks have been working on this for over a decade. Over the last 12 months or so, we've kind of had a committee that has worked together. But really, we're doing a zoning change and trying to help protect those assets the best we can, and trying to allow more uses in there that wouldn't be allowed today. See if that's... There it goes. So what's not changing? So the land uses of general commercial, neighborhood commercial, office commercial, and office warehouse, most of those light manufacturing places are operating as warehouses. We're still going to get to keep a warehouse in that district. It will allow all residential from single family, two family, three family, and the multifamily household living types in the area. Properties that have a historic overlay or within a historic district, like the Old Town Historic District or the Fort Concho Historic District, they're not changing anything. They just will fall within the cultural district boundaries. There is a sign district in there that's 150 feet around the Fort Concho Historic District. That's going to stay in effect. In our central business district, basically our downtown, we don't have parking requirements. In the central business or in the cultural district, we are saying we're going to follow our section 511 that staff have the ability to waive up to 50%. And so we want those businesses to know that while you may be a smaller business, but you don't have a lot of on-site parking, we can help you with off-site parking and things like that as far as the numbers of where you can park. We wouldn't require you to add a lot more parking. If someone does, whatever reason, say, hey, I just want a nice big parking lot over here because this is a cultural district and I can start charging a fee, then we're gonna have you put a little bit of landscaping buffer in to help kind of shield the harshness of that being just a brand-new parking lot. The zoning, again, there's all this mixed zoning and thing, but what allowed uses will be general commercial, neighborhood, office warehouse, the office commercial, and all the residential districts. Again, this is where we have, and you can see that very last bullet point. In the zoning ordinance, it says you only get 12 months. We've actually taken that completely out of this ordinance and said, okay, we're going to give you the full 2 years. So if your building's vacant, you've got 2 years to find you somebody that is going to operate like heavy commercial or like manufacturing. They would be, in the lack of a better term, grandfathered in. We are allowing a lot of the heavy commercial uses allowed by conditional use. So if planning commission says, okay, well, that's an allowed use, we're gonna allow it by conditional use. So I'm gonna go, So I go back to this zoning district. Again, all of these areas will be allowed to use any of those types of zonings, from neighborhood commercial to residential. And so similar to Central Business District, you have a mix. We are still wanting to have residential in this area, and if somebody wanted to convert a commercial building to residential, it would be allowed. If somebody wanted to convert a residential building to commercial, it would be allowed as well. We are also allowing manufacturing by artisans. This is a big art area, and so if you wanted to do metalworking or pottery or other things like that artisans do, that's usually small scale, it's not big scale, they will be allowed to do that by right. They'll be allowed to display their artwork and their things. We are encouraging folks to do more murals in this part of the area, continuing with our visual aspect, being the visual arts capital of Texas, and trying to continue to enhance some of the areas that are significant to us. We are adding some development standards that are allowing more things on smaller lots in this area to see if it actually works. Nobody may take advantage of it, but they have the ability to. So commercial, you could go up to 300% of the lot size, which really is a 3-story if you chose to. Residential, you could go up to 200%. We still have the max height on the residential at 35, but the size of the lot is smaller, and the setbacks are more of the residential size. And so if you have a larger lot over there, and if you wanted to put an additional home on it, you could. There'd be enough room to do that. So again, short-term rentals would be allowed by right in this area, manufacturing by artisan, again, converting the residential structure to commercial. The outdoor storage, right now, we say we are actually proposing that to go to 30% because some of those properties have unlimited outdoor storage, and we're not wanting to necessarily take that away. We're just asking you to kind of shield it a little bit. Again, manufacturing by artisan would have some more outdoor storage availability. Design standards, we would just bring over the design standards from the river corridor so that the commercial buildings would have a design standard. We would exempt, like we do now, single-family and two-family residential unless they're actually historically overlaid, which there's a few houses there that are, and they would just stay with their historic overlay, but all the commercial properties would go within the cultural district, the river corridor standards. Over time, we hope to change that so that we have just cultural district standards as well that you guys would come together with.
I have one question.
Sure.
So all of these standards, are we going to be overseeing all of this?
Do we want to take a pause? I think that we no longer have a quorum.
No.
I'm going to guess that they probably have, I don't know if Stacy's coming back. I'm not sure that Luke is.
Yeah, they didn't say anything.
I mean, does this stuff require,
Does not require a vote today. It's just informational today.
No.
So if we are confident that they are not returning, maybe we want to continue this conversation another time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm not sure if they're returning or not.
Okay.
No, I believe they both had to leave.
Okay, all right.
What are we doing?
Oh, it sounds like Kathleen is recommending that we,
Even if there's no action necessary, this is just informational?
can't.
I believe that, subject to the Public Information Act, it's considered an open meeting if we are discussing it, and we had the meeting posted, and unless it's vital, is it vital to continue?
No, it's informational for this
Okay.
group.
Okay.
So. For the design aspects. And we are looking into some stuff with one of the state ordinances or state laws on how that might or might not impact this board, if there is a significant impact or not. About 40% of that area is already under this group based on the Old Town Historic District, Fort Concho Historic District, and other historic properties, as well as the river corridor that's already established in the area. So it's not a major expansion of more properties coming to this board.
Well, I mean, can we still talk about it? I mean, is this okay? or-
Well, I think the question is, we no longer have a quorum, so we technically don't have a public meeting any longer. If I understand that we don't meet the definitions of a public meeting based on our quorum numbers. And I know there's another group coming in here at noon for their board.
Okay, I mean, I just had some questions, but if we need to hold off.
But if y'all have questions, you feel free to come and talk with me afterwards, and I'll be happy to answer
Okay.
what I can.
So I guess for now, we need to postpone
Yeah, we
This-
can do that.
discussion, director report.
Yeah,
Okay,
very good.
thank you. See, we have announcements. The next regular meeting of the Design and Historic Review Commission is scheduled to begin on Thursday, April 17th, 2025 at 10 a.m. in the east mezzanine of City Hall at 72 West College Avenue. Get a motion to adjourn?
you actually don't need a motion
don't
because you
need to
don't have
do that.
quorum. So I think the meeting ended whenever Luke left.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that we can designate, Mr. Chairman, if you want to officially adjourn this meeting and have a second.
Okay, I officially adjourn this meeting. Second? Okay, all in favor? We're done. Okay.